Thanks, Doc. Appreciate it. And don't forget to listen to WRVA. Now go buy your girlfriend another gun. How many of you watch Fox News? How many of you watch O'Reilly? Oh boy, you're going to have a tough one here. She's funny, she's intellectual, she tells it exactly like it is, and every once in a while she puts O'Reilly right in his place. She writes for the Weekly Standard. She's on O'Reilly every Monday night. Mary Katharine Ham.
You're about to hear me say more words in a row than you've ever heard me say on O'Reilly. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys, with folks who will get up at 8 in the morning on a cold holiday and come down 4 in the morning. You got here at 8 though, right? That's amazing. Congratulations. Because I'm a firm believer in the fact that when the government gives you a holiday, you should come down and tell the government and take the free parking and tell them exactly what you think of them. So, thank you for being here. I was reading the Brady campaign's announcement about you guys gathering, and they were telling me that you were gathering to make it legal to shoot very cute kittens and puppies, I think. And I said, Dave, I'm not sure if I want to do this. But I looked into it a little further and found out that that's actually not the case. Speaking of which, where are the antis today? Are they supposed to be melodramatically lying down in front of me? There's 2. Oh, okay. 2 of them. Oh, that's cute. But yeah, I think they're supposed to be laying here, right? Isn't that how it works? But for real, the Brady campaign's announcement about you guys today included the fact that you are convening on a holiday that commemorates the birthday of a great civil rights leader and proponent of nonviolence. That's true. He was a great civil rights leader and a proponent of nonviolence. But a little history lesson for the Brady Bunch. They don't invoke Martin Luther King on this day to honor Martin Luther King. They invoke him to smear what you guys are doing. All right? There you go. Because the implication is that you guys are here to celebrate violence, which is not the case at all. And in fact, if they were interested in honoring Martin Luther King, they might have looked up a speech of his from 1966. There's a helpful section on the question of self-defense, which I can forgive them for not having read far enough to see that, I guess. But you'll find this quote. It goes without saying that people will protect their homes. This is a right guaranteed by the Constitution and respected even in the worst areas of the South. Since 1966, Martin Luther King Jr. himself. So there was room for self-defense, even in a political movement of nonviolence. And that is a really important thing to remember when people in the South were facing night riders. And Connie Rice has spoken about it several times. That's how she became pro-Second Amendment, is that had her father had to register his guns, he would not have been able to protect his family in Birmingham in the 60s. So let's honor Martin Luther King with celebrating the Second Amendment. Yeah. Now, speaking of self-defense, where are the ladies in the house? Woo! Let me hear it. You know, speaking of self-defense, there are many men who are much stronger than many women, but I have always found the 9mm is a hell of an equalizer. So I like to speak up for the ladies. There's a woman I read about this week, Sandra Hochstetler. It's a 70-year-old woman in South Bend, Indiana. I don't know if you guys heard this story. But she was confronted by an intruder outside her house and pushed into her house, and she ran in and Granny grabbed her gun, and she came back out and she held that man hostage until the police got there to take him away. Now there are some people who think that Miss Hochstetler should have taken her chances with this guy for 5 minutes until the police got there, I guess. I tend to think differently, and so does she. She says, this is a quote from her, I'm hoping it will be inspiring to others, to let them know that they can do this, that they can protect their homes, and if it comes down to it, they can take extreme action. Yeah, to me, there's nothing more inspiring than the idea of a grandma with a pearl-handled pistol in her purse ready to let fly. She also says she got a lot of national attention for this. She said, how did this get national attention? What's the big deal about? Doesn't everybody try to protect their homes?
Oh, yeah.
Which is that's something we get into. The sad thing, of course, is that there are a lot of people who don't believe that everyone should protect their home. I once read an appalling editorial in an Oregon newspaper, I can't remember the name of it, but it was speaking about Florida's Stand Your Ground law, which immunizes people from criminal prosecution if they're defending themselves anywhere in Florida, out in their cars and such. And their argument was that somebody who's allowed to defend himself with a gun might actually mete out more justice than the actual justice system would. So that, you know, if the penalty for robbery or rape is not death, then people shouldn't be allowed to shoot somebody. So I guess the argument is that Sandra Hotstetler should just take her chances with that guy,
Right.
so as not to sentence him to death for a crime that deserves less time. I don't know. I am a fan of Sandra's kind of woman's empowerment, and I think
what women's lib is all about?
the argument is also that it deepens the cycle of violence for Sandra to defend herself. Well, I think you can talk to a woman in Dumfries, Virginia this week who shot a would-be intruder and possible attacker and put him in the hospital, and that ended his cycle of violence real quick. So to all the ladies out there and all the guys who support them and their right to gunsling as they choose, we appreciate it, and keep standing up.